And no, me catch him say France and Brazil match, it's going to be some match. Now, and no, how much say quality football. What a game that was. And kudos to both teams, new coaches, because even though it was a friendly match, but quality football was a display. In fact, France won a game by 2-1. And say before the game, you won't say France for the favorites of this very game. They ended up winning. But I tell you, this game, because it's a friendly match, needed to reveal a lot of things to the coaches ahead of the World Cup. So I would say coaches need now from the game itself. Now, France 4 team, the truth is, anodini brutal. When you look at the squad, entrance squad tells you about this very generation. In fact, we are in a generation this very French team, aqua finals of the last 2 World Cups. So it tells you how strong, and they are just getting better and better every day. And in fact, first goal was scored by Kylian Mbappe. And when you look at the quality of this French team, from goalkeeper, middle, defense, near attack, Dembele, in the ball pass, the Ballon d'Or winner, saw a space and was breaking 2 defensive lines and a better Mbappe, and of course with the pace and the way Hussain goes, particularly for Real Madrid. And the French national team went for a chip and with 2 balls for a goalkeeper. Ederson, so my board, and that was the first goal. And then it talks about Mbappe and this French national team, because looking at this French national team, I tell you, the Mbappe so they tell me and require Jack him so already. Osu say Mbappe abobo send of France, To me, who is the damn free Mbappe comes next. Who the all-time top scorer for France? Olivier Giroud Nedikai, 57 goals. Now Mbappe about 56. And they can just 1 goal. Now watch Olivier Giroud. They can't go there. Obesano when ya. And it talks about the quality or they bred this French national team and as a leader. In fact, when he's inside this national team, on when you play from Bobo no but about national team won't be more. Mbappe gives you even more with the national side, not just the opener. Again, France assigned a second goal. Abrante and the release in a PK ball, and making sure or the ball be attack and the movement of the French attack. Only said the ball never Ekitike saw say or no beje pass, but then Abrante and the Mbappe ni Dembele mo acting as a decoy, distracting opponents, making sure so I'm didn't be divided. So see Abrante and the other only say to pass, and Ekitike so too far. Goalkeeper, and it talks about the avalanche of quality at their disposal. In fact, only say Jebo no your movement or Jebo no or taking decision, which was a pure talent, quality, and no Ryan Checky, Wamobi. But look, I Ekitike form. Front four almost started, Dembele, and then Abrante and the other Kylian Mbappe. So it was such a tougher game for Brazil. To be very honest. So this French team now boy from defense, goalkeeper Mike Mayon, even saves now all yes, we make my have doubt in there, but when it comes to the national team, we got strong hands. And again, so France attack and one, or we defense see Brazil no. I was not expecting anything different from what we just witnessed, because looking at Brazil, Carlo Ancelotti decided say, or best started that in post. Wesley Franca, AS Roma boy, and then Ostate, Glesen Bremer. Eventually the goal scorer, of course, on the OBN, Juventus, Enosina kind. And Enya Glesen Bremer, or Ade, Leo Pereira, Flamingo boy now. In fact, Brazil, Krumo, Penasempa, or Bogame Libya, and Ancelotti felt he saw him good. Again, and or Ade, Douglas Santos, and also from Zenit St. Petersburg. So when you look at this front line, France had a buyer in Ballon d'Or winner Dembele, Michael Olise, Mbappe ni Ekitika. You know that definitely Ombeshe goes at this back line. And it happened in the game. Talks about every single thing that Brazil needs to learn. So with this, I won't fault Ancelotti Bebre. Because I was say ni center backs no Marquinhos be available. Magalhaes, ye name say Wamba or be available. Abrante ni de Eda Militao be available. Onbenye defensive unit kake be solid. So Alisson better go post in So as compared to this, we see a different Brazil team World Cup, particularly when the defense line. Now in the middle, Casemiro, Andre Santos. So Brazil team there ball and attack, which is Rafinha, Vinicius, and Enra. Now me expect a lot from the Rafinha did well until say Enei Carlo Ancelotti break it. Unfortunate news say on your muscle problem, muscle and comfort, and oyi ni film. Barcelona for Enei worried the more because he's been hampered with a lot of injuries this season, and not just an onko. Enei omo enter crucial phase of the league, which is the La Liga, no, and they are concerned. But seeing Vinicius Junior wearing the number 10 jersey, Vinicius de Rafinha, who's supposed to wear the 10? Vinicius don't find the 7. But then in Brazilian national team, when it comes to the jersey number 10, it's such iconic. No Neymar, and this time round it was Vinicius. So Vinicius NF shirt 10. No, in the first half, man, won a year to be very honest. But in the second half, Vinicius played very well. Yes, or say a chance. And go back to the attacker, but he was a threat, constant threat. Ne foul and a day or more consolation go against him, you know, and aside, you know, he was enjoying himself for your explosive, very tormenting to air France for defense, you know, and it talks about again France for team now, you know, I know them from all angles, yes. And when you look at them, we are talking about one of the favorites to win the competition, and now a slow spin, but I tell you, upon realization. Spain for they better pray. Abraham said the day Nico Williams be get full fitness. No man nya the threat no munya attack. E will use no because World Cup na nya ba ko for adwuma. Se omo do mani to la me yama nko aso a. Emre bi a name Brazil for on the year adwuma ni nyina. Omo pira na e no mo ko free mu against Belgium. And the na nya ba ko for adwuma. So I don't think Lami Yama Nkwa be omuni number 9 post pain for. So omo hear the threat na Lami Yama dey ba no. Similar on the other flank and also Nico Williams actually so betimi dia ba. So it looks as if say France for no and they are more favorites. Ebi abeka Argentina na dey but France. So it talks about team na so omo hihye here and right there a lot of things to me were exposed. Bakuyo Upamecano on your red card. It was a last man tackle. But I tell you, Upamecano ability to read the game. And in the general performance as a center back, man, I don't like it. Honestly. So I believe, sir, I really say Ombo Konate ne Saliba. Work up and I say for France. Na afei. Yes, yen say Fubas in the Kunde Beba. No abeyi Malo Gusto. On the other side, Tio Hernandez na and a Beba might mayor impose. Abrante ndere Chouameni. And Rabio ne boy consistently omo na boy na tell you the work out obey you so. But in Ngolo County, a better free bench said the so for France, a lot of the things were reviewed, particularly when Oyi the front line in free, Oyimbape free, Dembele free, all the others. But or the Dway Ebam again, or the Marcus Thuram, Ebeyi Kylian Mbappe. In fact, Magnus Akluch, Ebeyi Hugo Eketike. So you look at this French team and you talk about the quality from even the bench. And it tells you some but this very World Cup, no France for no ketwa. Because look, for Brazil, I don't know what changes, you know. Player about who year pa Luis Enrique, the guy who came on first, obey Abrante Diede Rafinha from Zenit St. Petersburg. And on the performance, no done a dinner there. I tell you, Brazil for the threat from the bench, I'm gonna call World Cup or Baba wonders are Aquadana Chile. Or one of best side game no completely, the tempo, the everything, and all shoot to and oyet or sad trebo. Uno so abekase bomb fatano. But you see, in the qualifiers so Bobby, 8 matches. Oshe 2 goals assisted to. So clearly, and I said this very World Cup, no. Carlo Ancelotti the never call from Zenit St. Petersburg. For the team class side then Koye sa Ebi and Chenen or but he's not getting the goals and everything. But when it comes to the national team, they're all trade Abrante a sure candidate. So I call World Cup maybe. Carlo Ancelotti Alusu and we're in a 3rd defeat since Okofe Adjumana as the Brazilian national team coach. And in total, we won 9 matches. We winning 4. We draw 2 and we lose 3. Yes, and yet that much encouraging. But say the you know, and they having for this Brazilian national team or share for the major tournament, which is the World Cup. And it definitely is going to be judged by the performance of better than the World Cup. And I say, and yes, it is about time. I said on one kind, you know, game where revealing a lot of things at the actual. I was working on that. Now for getting the other player who are not available no, to help the team because attacking there for Brazil, I think because I got Thiago Moura on free bench by you see, it talks about say also attack, but I can't so be balance. No, they are called World Cup, no. I say, and after the game, it got a lot of people concerned. cooling break, you know, because the temperature at Boston, don't forget the game no cost of Boston, USA, Gillette Stadium, one of the venues ever World Cup be and it is the reason why I tell who Boston Celtic for basketball player, Abrante and Jerry Jason Tatum, fanboy, you know, so baby game, no, it be a cost of baby any team, no, Krumwa, and no again, cooling break 18 degrees Celsius, as in weather temperature, and people get worried because in Ghana here, the average temperature, and we are no, about 32 to 36 degrees Celsius. And they say 18, which is half of that. Moko cooling break it, yeah. And then World Cup, every match be a cooling break. Next a match be a breaking 4 times because break me a extra time soon, and then you're my baby. I'm a officer. You as a phone be used to keep it a advert. I buy then to say basketball 3 seconds advert, and they got people worried. But then, we saw the two teams, France wearing a away jersey for the World Cup, and they Brazil new jersey on Jordan brand which is their away jersey also for the World Cup. It was just interesting game, and about game the quality of football and the football talents. Oh, what a match that was!